And the stuff that they were saying on this program just it, you know, it'll hit you and put you in the position to make you think about yourself, uh, your family, uh, your desires, your objectives, and your purpose. And this program, excuse me, because I don't remember the name of it, but this program hit, and I mean it hit hard. And it got me to thinking. But the one word one of the guests said about the, uh, how would you say, the status of the black family, really don't care where you came from, how you got here. Uh, but they were talking about the status of the black family, and sometimes we get into heated conversations about our origins. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be right on the issue. Nobody likes to admit that they were wrong. But today, wrong. I'm wrong in the aspect of uh, getting too upset about our condition. But I want you to understand something. Stuff like this is important, you know, because the status that we have, or at least that I had in the 60s and 70s, it's nothing like it is today, man. It's nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? So you try to look at different things and try to picture, what could be better, what you take issues with, the rule of law, the rule of family structure, and how it's fragmented into so many pieces. And the one word that the guest said that really brought it home was the word broken. Whatever subject you may or may not have in your mind, but you're probably wrong about it. Because what I said in response to that, you know what I'm saying, about, to myself sitting there watching that program, but it just hit so hard. So I kind of nodded my head. You know what? That is true. The status of the black family is broken. And they spoke in context of being here in the United States of America. And a lot of people are lost. That individual also said, if you turn on the TV, what you see is broken. Broken dreams, broken realities, broken, the compassion is broken also. So you could just apply whatever you want to it. But that's true. We, as a structured or unstructured black family, wherever you came from on this planet Earth, uh, it's broken. And we accept no responsibility about changing or improving it. Because I think for men and women, you look at life as you just want to do something good for yourself. And if you got kids, you got kids. But the hardest part about that is accepting the fact that it is somewhat broken. And I'm going to use the example to prove my point, what the guest said. He said, think about the ratio and the percentages of married couples. Yep, you see everybody nod. Yeah, that's true. Think about the condition, the male inside or outside the home. Once again, that is true. Think about the revolving door uh, that comes from the, how would you say, I don't know, the revolving door that I guess it comes from the instability of a man and not understanding who you are and your purpose in life, what you should and should not be doing, how you should teach, how you should respect one another. You know, I hush my mouth for a minute because I want to bring in every detail that they were discussing. But that one word, just I kept it on my mind. Even after the program went off, I heard some other things too. But that man was dead on. It's broken. And you have pockets of people who are doing well, and what do? How do they respond to that brokenness? They leave, wanting not to deal with something that is broken. So, as I've said before, my channel is focused on issues like these. But that brother was right on today. And I feel exactly what he's feeling. And it was hard to admit. It was hard for the people to admit. And yet they use other examples, but the brother was dead on. We are broken. And another example that he used that I believe so wholeheartedly, and if you watch any of my videos, you know I speak on this. It's about manhood, how you feel about your life. What do you think your responsibilities as a man is? You know, and it hit because, like I said, we are broken. But the example, whew, the best example I've ever heard, not the word broken, but he put it to in the context like what I was saying just a few minutes ago about brothers being in and out of the system. The responsibility relies on the child's mother. She worked 2 and 3 damn jobs, and you got these good for nothing black slash African slash whatever you want to put to it. The women get no support whatsoever. And I ain't talking about people who are actually doing something or doing right. That's not what I'm talking about. It's the fact that men should have and still can, because all hope is not lost, to get your family back in order. But that example that that young man used, he was quite young. I would say mid-20s to late 20s. His example got everybody and their mouths either open or closed. Because once again, like I tell you, he was right. And that broken example of what he used is how many, how many black women, young or old, got a whole lot of kids. And everybody, one person said, man, yeah, and then they spoke on which, kind of made everybody relax a little bit. But the laughter came in, and next thing you know, dead silent. Because everyone knew and understood where this brother was going. And the reason why it comes back to broken, because it was so powerful that the example that it used was the fact that how many of those kids have their father involved in their life? Ain't no hands went up. Nobody ain't say nothing. Because once again, it's true. But then again, he kept pushing it. He said, now understand this here. If those children do have a father, meaning child or children, uh, his job is to provide for him as a father. But he said, out of those guys, how many of you agree that the child may or may not know who his father is? Boom! You understand? Shut the whole doggone show down. Because guess what? He's exactly right. We have a lot of kids, being boys or girls, who have no idea who they are, where they came from, who do they belong to. Everything is out of order and broken. Best example, hands down, man down, because it checks you as an individual. It checks you, and you make you look at your own self, your responsibilities, and the fact that you need to be doing a better job to keep your kids uh, steady and on a path to where you want something better, but you also should push in the idea of being a parent, whether inside the household, outside the household, to give that child a chance to know both of you. But the lying and sleeping around and don't even know you got kids, that is widespread. And y'all know it. That's widespread. It's unlimited. The young black girls and the young black boys don't know who their father is. And then it becomes the mother responsibility to try to keep up with all that. Now we all know how babies are created, but that was the best example of brokenness as far as the structure of the family, the responsibility of each one of them, including the children, about teaching them and telling them who do they belong to. All important. Like it or not, whether people get angry or not, what you're doing is exactly what's needed. You keeping truth out there, but you're also letting the children know that you came from somewhere and this is such and such. No doubt about it in your mind. Because when I said that that brother was right on, I remember watching the program more. What is 99% of his shows about? You guessed it. You are the father. And everybody break out cheering in that respect. But also what happens even more and at a greater rate is the fact that that woman got it wrong. That man didn't have the forethought and the belief to at least say, well, you know what? If these are my kids, I'm going to find out. I need to be there. And like I say, both parents don't even have to live in the household, but that structure is broken. And until we go back and look at those things and try to organize it to where everybody understands the importance. And I'm not talking about DNA, I'm talking about the importance of to know who you are, be it male or female, and who you slept with. You know these things. So be honest at all costs, even if it destroys your relationship with your child. The mother has been given a responsibility uh, protecting her kids and doing all she can, man in or out of the home. She works too hard and gets no respect from everybody. The one individual who has been holding somewhat the black family together is the female. But it's disheartening because you should or you should not have multiple babies' father, whatever the case may be. Guess what? I'm not even talking about that. What I'm saying is you let your children know who they came from. You get that shit in order. And I mean quick. Because we got people scattered throughout, not only in the United States, but you got people who don't know who they are. They don't know who their fathers are. They don't, sometimes about mothers, but it's mothers do pretty good job as I understand it. But what about the child? Somebody says something to the child. Who's your dad? They don't know. If they never knew their father, then that means they don't know his father or his grandmother or his mom or his dad. You see what I'm saying? That broken train, that broken chain that ties us together. When we talk about the aspects of DNA or whatever the case may be, it's nothing like knowing who you are and where you came from. That's why I encourage all men and women keep a record of everything you do. Keep a record of all your kids and your conversations. You add that stuff up and you consider whether you like the man or not. You consider at least do that much. Forget about how much it hurts. You should consider the rights of the father. Now, he could be a great guy or he could be the worst one in the world. But at the same time, the child wants to know. or at least sometimes it may be the desire. They may or may not admit it based on the responses of the mother. But the child has every right to know whether he or she where they came from. And if you get that structure or whatever it is you plan on building as a family, you got to lay the base because everything comes after the base, the foundation. And if you don't got the foundation right, you know what happens, though, right? The whole house comes down. How can you build on something that's not steady? That means all the corners of your family should be filled. And it is the man's responsibility and the woman. Nobody gonna get by. You will not be able to build anything until you understand who you are and allow the children to know, good or bad, who their parents are. That's still keeping the foundation strong and solid. But when you have members of the family or that same family, man or female, who do not allow that process to take place, it's actually hindering some of the problems that we have as a society, or in particular with African American men and women. Because one of the reasons why we don't like to look at our own shit, and you know this, all the arguments of injustice, brutality, all that stuff overtakes your responsibility. because you would rather argue about that, but you won't even take the effort to go into your house and lay the law down, not about uh, structure of the house. What I'm talking about, you take that time out and tell the kids whether you like the man or not. Because at some point in time, you like them enough to lay down and create a child, then you should, whether you dislike them or not, in the current stage, you allow them to have that relationship, be it male or female. And our unwillingness to do so is actually corrupting the foundation of our house. But at the same time, that goes for every other race too. You see what I'm saying? How in the hell can you build a strong house on a foundation that's broken? If you don't understand that, keep doing what you're doing, and what you should expect is the fact that I was right and they were right about this here. Know who in the hell you came from. Push the effort to allow the child to give them that choice. But for those who haven't gotten to that point, choose who in the hell you gonna lay down with. Because after that, a child may or may not be produced. And you're gonna keep doing the same thing, the structure of our family and knowing where you came from and who do you belong to, what you're made of, will never happen. So it's with great sincerity that I tell you this, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is out like wildfire. Nobody know who the hell they belong to, be it mother or father. And nobody tries to push that information to get them the knowledge that they need. Choose who in the hell you gonna lay down with, and keep a record of that shit. At least give the child the understanding that I'm gonna support you. I've been doing, as far as like some of the women say, I've been doing it all by myself. It don't necessarily have to be like that. You can explain them to the child why, but be honest. If he in and out of the system, I mean jail, still locked up in jail does not allow him to escape his responsibilities, because you should take the kids there, but you do it over the span of time. And in fact, keeping your family together, changing your life for the better by allowing things like this to happen, you won't have the response that you're getting from kids these days. Because if you gave a percentage of it, and this is my opinion, 80 to 90% of the kids who have never or who have never known about their father is the most damaging thing you could do to yourself or to your family. So I hope, to God, that you take these things up under consideration, because when you step out your door, all you see is brokenness and make you feel like there is no hope. And here's the last point, and I'm done. You know how it's really broken? Because what do you see when you turn on the TV? 90% of black men are out in the street killing their own kind. Now that a brother? Is that a family member? This is what you have left over from the remnants of family, broken family, children with no relationship with their parents. And what that leaves them with, if they're left alone in this world, is the fact that they are alone. and you didn't give them the chance to not be alone. It's men and women's fault because that child sometimes may or may not grow bitter because they could have had both, but you didn't do your job to the full extent, whether you like it or not. It's the child right, you know. And I love my people, but this had to be put out there tonight. So, you know, I may come on here and cut down on the brothers, and deservedly so. But we got a lot of work to do. If you ever want to see something change for the better, it's the status of the black family. And I respect all races, but we are broken. No other word fits in that, that sentence. Broken, broken. But you don't have to like my content. But the truth is the truth. Until you get your house in order, you can't be sitting around worrying about what the hell somebody else is doing. Because they're doing their job if they follow what I just put out there. So black man and woman, know who in the hell you laying down with, keep a record of it, show the child a consideration, and allow your family to know where each individual came from. Because the family tree of the black family, broken. There's no other word to put there in that sentence. Love you all. Peace.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, yeah. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I won't obey. You cannot tell me what I cannot say. I'm here to last, so yeah, I'm here to stay. I'll live each second like my final day. You can't take that away, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.